Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about K-pop. I know we don't cover too much K-pop, but we want to cover a little more about K-pop because I know some of you viewers are very into K-pop. So there is this girl group that debuted 2 years ago named RESCENE. And so in Korean it's RESCENE. And in English it's RESCENE, like RESCENE, but it's pronounced RESCENE. I think the whole lore behind it is like, oh, like RESCENE, like scent. I don't know. All these names are weird. We just like the songs. We like to see pretty girls dance and perform. That's why we like K-pop. But there is a recent member named Woni who's being canceled right now, like aggressively, because she used no. So here's what the girl group looks like. If you guys are just curious, she went really viral for. Well, the girl group went very viral for this meme right here. 거제 야호. That's what they said. You can play the audio. I don't know. Is it playing?
거제 야호.
거제 yaho. Is that the Japanese member? Yeah, that's the Japanese member. And then next to her is Woni, right? Yeah. So, context about Woni. She's, I think, arguably the most popular member of the girl group RESCENE. And she's cute, she's funny, and her YouTube channel actually has more subscribers than the RESCENE YouTube channel. Like, that's how popular she is. She has millions of subscribers, millions of viewers. And so what happened is that in a recent video, in a vlog where she took her Japanese co-member to visit her hometown in, is it Gyeongsang? Gyeongsang. So Gyeongsang is like a small island, like southeast, so if you're looking at the viewer, like southwest of Busan, and you guys know Busan is a seaport city, which is the second largest city in Korea. And so she took her there, and she had a moment where she said, 무섭노, like, are you scared? And to say that in a whole dialect is 무섭냐, or like 무서워, but in like 경상도, 경상남도, 경상북도, which is the southeast part of Korea, which is where I'm from, they add no, like their regional dialect, which is what we call 사투리. They add no at the end of sentences or questions. So even for me and my family, they go like 밥 먹었노, 뭐 하노, and that's how I grew up. So for me, as even a Korean gyopo and as a Korean immigrant to America, the way that I communicate with my family, I would hear that all the time. So I actually thought that was normal Korean until I started watching dramas and listening to other people from Seoul. I was like, oh, it's a different dialect. But that being said, they say that. But she's being canceled for saying 무섭노, like, are you scared? Why? Because No is the last name of 노무현. So 노무현 was the president of Korea from 2003 to 2008, but he committed suicide. And then, for context, there is an extremely far-right website, which is kind of like the Korean equivalent to 4chan, but even worse, called 일베. And on 일베, there is a known trend and meme among the 일베 community, the far-right Korean 4chan site, essentially, where they constantly make fun of 노무현's suicide. And then so they add no to the end of sentences and phrases to make fun of him. And then now she's being canceled. She's saying canceled. It's like, because she said it's scary or are you scared on her YouTube channel. And the person who spearheaded this cancellation effort was a producer at MBC Gyeongnam named Kim Hyun-ji. And this is a producer at MBC. And let me show you what this woman looks like. Okay, this is her Naver page. And so if you know Naver Wiki, it's like Korean's version of Wikipedia. This is what Kim Hyun-ji, producer Kim Hyun-ji at MBC Gyeongnam looks like. Why do all feminists look like this? Like, she's a raging feminist, short hair, tries to be androgynous, not attractive at all. Why are they like this? And so she started the cancellation effort because she noticed that, oh, she said no at the end of her phrase. She is a far-right extremist. What? It's even worse than what Americans do, like the left does in America, where they try to cancel someone for saying the N-word. Like, at least they said the N-word a lot of the times. She wasn't even saying it. It was her regional dialect. That's where she's from. She's from was it Koje, right? Koje. Kojedo, which is a small island south of Busan. That's how she talked growing up. And she's trying to equate that to being associated with the far right. It's the cancel culture, the leftist cancel culture brigade, and the toxic cancel culture that exists in America, in the West. It exists everywhere in the first world, around the world, as long as a leftist faction exists. Because these people's worldview, they say, I advocate for communism and equality and equal rights and feminism, women empowerment, trans rights are human rights. This is all window dressing for being so miserable and insecure, uncomfortable in their own skin, that they feel better and they alleviate those feelings of insecurity and inferiority by putting others down. So they see people who are beautiful, they see people who are excellent, they see others who accomplish things in life and are happy, are doing well, living a purposeful, fulfilled life, and they want to put them down. And that's the only way that they can feel a sense of purpose and belonging and meaning in their miserable state. This is why feminists always look at happy women who are happily married to their husbands, who have many children, and they put them down saying, you're a slave, you must be so miserable, you're controlled by your husband, while they're so happy, they're enjoying life, they're raising children. Because they hate anything that is beautiful and excellent. Because they don't have it. And instead of bettering themselves and picking themselves up and trying to be like more presentable, more beautiful, more honorable, more dignified, they put down others. And that is the essence of the story. That this producer of MBC Gyeongnam is putting down a cute K-pop girl, an innocent K-pop girl, Woni, because she's jealous. That is literally it's that simple. Human nature does not change. You can read all of the most complicated political and philosophical texts, but it really just goes down and comes down to Cain and Abel. Okay, you read Genesis, Cain and Abel. God liked one brother sacrifice more, so Cain killed Abel. Abel was giving good sacrifices and was honorable in the sight of the Lord. Cain wasn't. Cain hated that. He was jealous. Oh, so what did he do? He killed his brother. It's that simple. Like, that is the dynamic of the political culture war today. That's all it is. It's people who do not have trying to destroy and kill those who do have. Now, Abel just minding his own business, trying to love the Lord and give him like good offerings that the Lord accepts. And then Cain's like, I hate that. I'm going to kill you. His own brother. Like, we could even go one generation on earth without having someone kill someone out of jealousy and destroy their life. That's all this is. So don't think about it too complicatedly. You don't have to be a sophist. You don't have to try to be pretentious and act like you know so much. It's that simple. That's why the Bible is timeless. But every single cancel culture effort, every single culture war contention, contentious issue, phenomena, it just boils back to this human, this phenomena that has been a core part and key part of human nature for millennia. It's just that those who do not have will try to destroy and put down those who do have. That's it. It's communism. It's an ideology of envy. Leftism is the ideology of envy. Everything else is just window dressing. Everything else is just pretty packaging. And the irony of it all is that this Kim Hyun-ji producer in a show, a decade ago, several years ago, right here, she also said no, because she is also from Gyeongsang-do. Like she is literally from that area as well. So she's in Busan. I think this is Busan or somewhere in Gyeongsang, Gyeongsangbuk-do, Gyeongsangnam-do. And she's right here saying, right there, 옛날에 그런 말들을 여기가 어딨노? 어딨노? And then at the bottom, she also says, 뭐라 하노? So she literally said no herself. And now she's trying to cancel an innocent, cute K-pop girl, Woni, for what? Saying the same exact thing. No matter where you are in the world, leftists will lie, cheat, and steal. They will do anything. They'll drum up lies to destroy your life because they're jealous and they hate you and they're miserable and they hate the state that they're in. So they justify their miserable state by putting others down. That's all it is. Do not overcomplicate it, dear viewer. It is that simple. And then in response to this controversy, Kim Hyun-ji said this, which she got ratioed into oblivion on X. I can't close the gates of hell that I've opened myself. I've once again confirmed that SNS with social media, that's what Koreans call social media, they call it SNS, confirmed that SNS is not a suitable medium for debate. It's an issue that can't be sorted out overnight. After all, it took a long time just to eradicate the remnants of Japanese language. Still, I hope that what lingers in everyone's hearts is contemplation rather than anger. Rather than drawing distinctions over which no is acceptable, I wonder if we can't afford even a moment's hesitation in using a word if it hurts someone. In the end, it's about choices and attitudes. To those who send me messages that start with insults and end with no, take another look at what your words are truly proving about yourself. So she's obviously typed that in Korean. There's an English translation for you, the English, dear viewer. But yeah, this is like a non-apology. She's trying to justify herself. And basically, it's the same temperament as the left in America. Now, everyone around the world, you're not allowed to say anything if it can potentially offend anyone. You're not allowed to preserve your regional dialect. You're not allowed to talk in your regional accent and dialect because it's somehow associated with a very niche far-right community online. So therefore, you can't say it. Like, remember when we used to call Chinese and Koreans Oriental in this country? And no one really cared, but it was a good descriptor to differentiate between East Asians and all other Asians. Oh, but that's racist. According to who? Maybe one Asian got offended. Because one Asian got offended by it. Oh, suddenly we can't use Oriental anymore. You don't speak for me. I'm not going around finding ways to be offended by everything. Oh, it's so ridiculous. So what happened is then politicians also got involved, and that's how big it got. Even politicians got involved. And this is just such dumb outrage. We covered the Starbucks controversy before. These are all nothing burgers. And the more that politicians, more that leaders, and even conservative leaders were opining on this controversy, the more that you do so, the more you give credence to the insanity of the left. The party, the politicians, the movement, the leaders who firmly say, no, screw your cancel culture, they will win. They will win. So is this the summary of the incident? If you can go all the way up. And I think this is a good summary of the incident. So if you're still confused about everything that happened, this user, 윤형제 아빠 이야기, he summarizes it really well. During a YouTube broadcast, girl group RESCENE, their member Woni used the expression 무섭노, and it's currently causing a huge uproar in online communities and political circles. The background of the controversy is derogatory expression versus dialect. Situation summary: when visiting the hometown of recent Japanese member Minami, the PD said, "What is this? I'm scared." No, right? So 무섭노. 이게 뭐야? 이게 무섭노, right? And Gyeongsang native, when he responded, "I'm scared." No, the lighting alone is scary, right? So, and then regarding this remark, certain communities, some media figures raised suspicions that it's the no-no style used by far-right people to demean others. Like we explained, the President No, who committed suicide, he's become a meme in like far-right circles. Think about, like, it's equivalent to almost like the Korean ilbe equivalent to what leftists do with Charlie Kirk, essentially. That's why it's like most people don't like it. And that being said, let's continue. In response, it's being countered as it's a common Gyeongsang dialect in the past in forms like exclamation and soliloquies in Gyeongsang folk songs, everyday conversations, monologues, etc. In political circles, Joguk, who used to be the chair of the Rebuilding Korea Party, He says, in Yeongnam dialect, na and no are used distinctly in questions and argues that it must be distinguished from the derogatory expression that mechanically attaches no to standard language without a question marker. Lee Jun-suk, who's the leader of the Reform Party in Korea, who's supposed to be conservative, criticizes they're trying to verify ideology based on a single word ending and counters that in Southeast dialect, no is also used in exclamation soliloquies that is unconditionally branded as a hate expression. The dialect itself will be eradicated. So yes, like Lee Jun-suk here is objectively true. Like regional dialects are very important and is very good. And so he ends it with saying, honestly, is this even worth making controversy out of? What expressions like, what do you say? No, is that not allowed either? I feel like it's a bit over the top. What do you think? So that's basically the controversy. And if you just pull up a cute picture of Woni so that the viewer can empathize. We're not simps here. We don't white knight, but we are going to yellow knight today for Woni because we stand Woni against the cancel culture freaks and the feminists. And we want to preserve and protect the cute girls. Like that's what we like to do because we are chivalrous on the show. With that being said, yeah, I think it's really important that you preserve regional dialects. Think about it in America. Regional dialects are going away. And I think there's something special about having a Texan accent, having a Louisiana accent. And look at her. What is she so cute? Like, she's so cute. She's pretty. She's cute. She's likable. She's pleasant and lovely. Hard to find that these days, huh? Yeah, and then so, of course, feminists look at that in Korea and they hate it. We've shown you pictures of Korean feminists before. They always have short hair. They try to be androgynous, and they are chunky. They, like, literally, it doesn't take that much to present yourself well. And they're just miserable. Like, look at this. Who is this? The famous feminist, Lena Bay. Okay? Like, at least feminists in America, some of them are pretty. Like some of them, not all of them, but some of them. In Korea, all the feminists are fat and dysgenic and ugly and insecure. And I don't say that to be mean. That's just a reality. That's why they're so miserable. And all they have to do is lose weight, get it together. Korea, it's so easy to lose weight in Korea. Why? Because you're always walking. You're always walking from point A to point B, or always taking public transportation. So you're always walking. When I'm in Korea, I take an average of 20,000 steps a day. Like I'm always walking. I'm burning off all the calories that I eat. The portion sizes in Korea are much smaller than in America. So you have no excuse. You have no excuse. And gyms are cheap, much cheaper in Korea than it is here. Memberships are cheap. They're accessible. There's no excuse. And then Korean skincare products and makeup products are top of the line, where foreigners, millions of foreigners all over the world flood into Korea just to buy skincare products and makeup from Korea. Hair products, Korea's top of the line. Like there's no excuse not to be pretty in Korea as a girl. Like there really isn't. That's why you go to Korea, like people always say, oh, plastic surgery. Well, there's a plethora of girls who aren't like drop dead gorgeous, but they're lovely, they're pleasant, and they present themselves well. They doll themselves up, and yeah, they're attractive. So, yeah, it's just, we like to talk about K-pop. I think maybe we'll talk about K-pop a little more. Let me know in the comments or in the chat that if you wanted me to talk a little more about K-pop drama. I liked going over this because K-pop is important. There's a lot of people on the right wing in America who counter-signal K-pop, but there's a reason why it's popular. And the biggest reason why it's popular, we mentioned previously on this program, is because they still have the most talented and the most beautiful people represent K-pop in Korea. Now, it's slowly being subverted to include foreigners, but it's the most capable, the most talented, the most attractive, the most charming people make it big in K-pop. If you're not, you don't. Now, it can be toxic, for sure. The industry can be toxic. I'm not condoning that. But it does. You still do have the best and brightest. Meanwhile, in America, it's the complete opposite, right? It's inverted. That's why Hollywood's dying. And we'll touch on that very soon. You have Elliot Page, or you have not very attractive actors being the most attractive woman playing those roles. They're trying to psyop you into thinking that unattractive women are attractive. And so that's why it doesn't resonate inherently because beauty is inherent and natural. And so that's why people love K-pop. And so the world is shifting towards loving K-pop and Korean dramas now. So we got to talk about it. We got to talk about it. And as a Korean myself, I'm proud of it. I like it because it was very niche growing up. But because now it's very mainstream, they're globalizing it. And with anything that was good and awesome at first, once it becomes globalized and catering towards the modern audience and has mass appeal, that's when it starts to die. But all that being said, we stand Woni, RESCENE. Do not touch Woni, you darn feminists. We will protect her at all costs.